Back to the daily grind, and y'all know we gotta talk about this. But before we do, make sure you hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Valentina Shevchenko is calling for a flyweight title fight after her destruction of undefeated Priscilla Cachoeira not too long ago. Now, the current UFC flyweight female champion is Nicco Montaño. She won the title after being on The Ultimate Fighter season 26, I believe. And you know, that was the end where they made the 125-pound division, and the winner fought for the belt versus another contender off of the show. Well, Valentina Shevchenko is not somebody coming from the Ultimate Fighter TV series. She's already a world-class fighter that fought for the title at 135 pounds before the 125-pound division was created, where she probably should have already been fighting. But now that the division is here, these Ultimate Fighter girls, you know, paved the way, and you know, Nicco Montaño won the inaugural belt, and you know, and I hear you, and that's good and all. But a lot of people just consider this Valentina Shevchenko's division. And she kind of proved that when she fought Priscilla Cachoeira, even though that matchmaking was just, you know, that was kind of expected to happen. Valentina Shevchenko can do that to a lot of girls. Honestly, Valentina Shevchenko, what she did in her last fight, as dominant as it was and as brutal as it may have been, that could very well be the results of this fight versus Nicco Montaño. Because Nicco Montaño, yes, she is a UFC champion right now, but she probably, overall, she has less fights than the girl that Valentina just fought. You know, she's a UFC champion right now, and that's definitely a dope accomplishment, but it's not like she beat like a list of, you know, contenders and then earned the title shot. It was kind of, you know, like I said, that Ultimate Fighter scenario. So somebody that has already beat top contenders in the UFC and fought for a UFC title and proved her dominance and has, you know, these Muay Thai credentials, like Valentina Shevchenko is in my opinion the best pound for pound fighter on the planet. And if she fights Nicco Montaño and wins this title, she'll have proved it, because she fought for the 135-pound title and was also successful at 125 pounds. And as of right now, there's no other female that has done like that type of feat. Amanda Nunes has talked about fighting Cris Cyborg. Now, once she does that, you know, that will put her into that conversation as far as pound for pound. But as of right now, Valentina Shevchenko already has wins in multiple divisions, and she's on her way to another title shot. And so with that being said, if this fight does get scheduled, which I think we're just waiting on the champion Nicco Montaño, who, as you can imagine, is probably trying to stall out this fight as long as possible. I mean, you can only imagine, last we heard it was an injury and all of this, but not only after knowing Valentina Shevchenko's credentials, but after watching her last fight versus Priscilla, it's going to be that much harder to get somebody to sign up to fight Valentina Shevchenko. But it's just a matter of time before the champion has to either defend their belt or get stripped, kind of like Jermaine Durand to me, which would be insane. And also, I don't think Nicco Montaño wants to go out like GDR. GDR did get a lot of heat for not wanting to defend her belt versus Cris Cyborg, but she could, you know, mask it a little bit with, yeah, but you know, she's got popped sometime in her career, so she's a cheater. That's why I don't want to fight her. That's what, you know, Jermaine Durand to me had to say about not fighting Cyborg, and some people are going to take that excuse. Now, as far as Valentina Shevchenko is concerned, that would not be the same case. You can't call Valentina Shevchenko a cheater and say that's why you don't want to fight her, because she's not a cheater. All you can say is, I don't want to get my ass, like literally, if you don't fight Valentina Shevchenko at this point, it's because you know what I'm saying, you're conceding the fight. But as a UFC champion, that would just be a terrible look. So I don't think that's what's going to happen. I do believe we'll see this fight, and Valentina Shevchenko is calling for it to happen at UFC 225. We know there's going to be possibly Yoel Romero versus Robert Whittaker, another title fight on that card. This would make the second title fight for UFC 225. Sounds good to me. We've also, I believe, we have Claudia Gadelha versus Carla Esparza on that card, as well as CM Punk versus Mike Jackson. So, I mean, it's going to be a big card. I believe just because CM Punk is on the card, they might sell about 1 million pay-per-views. You know, I mean, that's what he did in his last, if I'm not mistaken. He almost got up to 1 million, if I'm not mistaken. But with either way, it's going to be a pretty big card, which should entice a champion like Nicco Montaño to want to fight on that card. Sell a lot of pay-per-views. The more pay-per-views you sell, the bigger the card, the more money you get in your championship fight. So having somebody like CM Punk on your card,
And
his name is John Cena!
Will probably entice Nicco Montaño to defend her belt versus Valentina Shevchenko then rather than later. So with that being said, it is what it is. I'll keep you updated. See when Nicco Montaño takes the fight, because that is what we are all waiting for. Valentina Shevchenko to get her title shot at 125 pounds and claim her title, which we all expect to happen. So, well, a lot of us. Let me know in the comments if you actually think, you know, Nicco Montaño has a better chance than a lot of other people against Valentina. There might be somebody out there that says, hey, don't count Nicco out yet. But I think a majority of us are expecting Valentina Shevchenko to take that crown at 125. So with that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking D-O-double-G.